Let's try it in the cockpit and see how it fares up there. It is hard to believe that this is just $30 for head tracking. Because the built-in stuff for Star Citizen isn't that great, but this is so much quicker.
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft.
That is very nice.
Your systems are online.
Alright, let's take it for a spin, I think.
Complete.
It is very snappy. Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today, as you can see, I will be taking a look at the Beam eye tracker. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you all so much for the support. It is truly appreciated. So recently, I was made aware of a head tracking option for Star Citizen that costs only $30. Now, as many of you know, I have been using Toby for quite a while now, but at nearly 300 quid just for head tracking, understandably, many are not wanting to spend so much on a single use case. And this is why I was very excited to see and get to test the Beam eye tracker out. Now, as mentioned, this is just $30. Well, actually, it's $22 right now as it's on sale for Black Friday. But what this does is allow you to utilize a device that you likely already have being your webcam. Now, the Beam eye tracker uses AI-powered software to turn your webcam into an iron head tracker, allowing you to look all around your ship's cockpit as if you were actually sat in it, or turn your head independently while you're on foot, which gives you much greater situational awareness and, of course, excellent immersion. And this is all without the need for additional hardware. And I must say, it does it exceptionally well, especially considering it is just $30. I am very impressed with how well it works in Star Citizen. It is very snappy, very accurate, and pretty much a tenth of what you may spend on dedicated hardware. Now, some of you may or may not know, but Star Citizen does have its own built-in head tracking option via a system called FOIP, which is Face over IP, the same system that tracks your facial movements. Now, this allows you to use your webcam already, but it is very poor and pretty unreliable when it comes to tracking, and really just provides more of a taste of what head tracking is like in Star Citizen, rather than it being super functional, especially when you start getting into things like combat, and that need to turn your head quicker. And so with the Beam eye tracker offering a great step up in quality of tracking from what the built-in system offers, making it far more responsive and capable. Now, if you have yet to try head tracking in Star Citizen, you are absolutely missing out, and I highly suggest giving this a go. And one of the big benefits of the Beam eye tracker is that you can actually try a Steam demo of it for free, so you can see whether head tracking is something that you would like or not, which is never an option when it comes to things like dedicated hardware. Now, setup is very easy. It does require a little bit of fiddling around, but once you have it installed on Steam, launch as you would any other game from there. And once the app has been launched via Steam, select the camera that you want to use. Mine automatically detected the Logitech C920. Now, you can share Beam with other programs, so if you are streaming, this would be a nice option where you can use Beam eye tracker and your streaming software, but keeping it exclusive for Beam will give better tracking results as it is able to focus on one task. But from here, just pick the best combo for your webcam's resolution and FPS, mine being 1080p at 30 frames. Then pick the location where your webcam is positioned, whether it is straight in front of you, at an angle, pointing up or down, and as you can see, it is already tracking. Now next, you need to calibrate the eye tracking function by simply looking at the dots on the screen without moving your head, just using your eyes, and click on them with your mouse. However, I won't be using eye tracking as I tend to just stick to head tracking personally, but this is personal preference based on what you might want. Now from here, make sure you tick up Gaming Extension in the app, and then download and install OpenTrack, which I will link in the description below. Now once this is launched, create a new profile and set eyewear Beam as the input device, leaving the rest of the settings as they are. Then click Start and you are tracking. Also, make sure you bind a key to recenter the tracking and an option for on and off. I tend to just use / on the numpad for on and off, and then the asterisk for recentering. And once you've done that, hop in game. And for Star Citizen, in the options menu under comms, VoIP and head tracking, make sure you have VoIP turned off, choose your camera and settings from the drop down option, and then under source, choose track IR and make sure the general head tracking toggle enabled is ticked up yes. And that is it. Now when it comes to adjusting the feel of it, play around with the settings options for things like yaw and range and adjust these settings until it feels right for you. You can also go into the mappings options in OpenTrack, but this is very much personal preference for ranges and so on, so take your time to play with it, get it feeling right, as it will pay off in the end. Okay, now it's set up, I will show some general gameplay of me using the Beam Eye Tracker in Star Citizen so you can see for yourself how well it performs while running through a few pros and cons. Now, firstly, its price to performance is second to none. It is very affordable at $30, even without the sale price being $22 right now. Secondly, the fact that it offers a free trial makes a huge difference, which, as mentioned, is not something you really get from dedicated hardware. For some people, head tracking is just not a good choice. For most, I think it would be, but being able to try it for free to help you decide is very useful. It is also pretty easy to set up and configure as shown. It does take a little bit of time to run through everything, and getting it dialed in to suit your needs, of course, like anything, is worth doing properly, and playing with it, as I say, to get it exactly how you want it. Now, apparently for Android 14 phones, you can use your phone as the webcam by simply plugging it in via USB-C, and then for iOS users, you have the option to offload processing to iPhones or iPads to increase calibration robustness. However, I've not tried this, so I can't speak to it. And like many other head tracking systems, the Beam Eye Tracker works on over 200 other games, not just Star Citizen. Now, personally, I see only a few downsides of the Beam Eye Tracker versus other options. Of course, with it being software and not dedicated hardware, there are trade-offs there, as you would expect. Firstly, it is not as responsive or accurate as a dedicated piece of hardware, which is to be expected. However, the fact that you are paying almost a tenth of the price for it versus something like Toby is outstanding value for money. Secondly, the tracking quality is going to be limited by the quality of your webcam. And as mentioned, I use the Logitech C920, which is not a high-end webcam, but it does do a great job for me. Now, it says that the minimum spec webcam to use the Beam Eye Tracker is a VGA resolution of 480p or higher, but I would certainly say stick to at least 720 and 30 frames just to ensure you get decent performance. And the final thing that I would consider a downside, but others may not really care about, is that you do need some form of lighting for the camera to accurately pick you up. Now, it doesn't need to be full-on spotlights, as the AI software really helps to enhance this, but it is something to be considered. But if you are streaming, then the likeliest option is that you have quite decent lighting anyway, so you should be fine. Anyway, with that said, I will leave you with some footage of me playing Star Citizen for a little bit using the Beam Eye Tracker so you can see how it handles in various situations. With that though, a big thank you to Beam for letting me try out their awesome eye tracker. And right now the Beam Eye Tracker is on sale at $22 for Black Friday, but even when the sale is over, it is only $30. You can try it for free, and well worth it if you want consistent, solid, and an accurate head tracking solution without breaking the bank. As I say, it is probably the best price to performance tracker out there. They also have a new version of Beam coming in December, which doesn't use OpenTrack to communicate with games, but more on that soon. And using my link will take you to that deal while also providing my channel with a direct kickback, helping to support my work, which is very much appreciated. If you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Come and follow me over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. I know we have quite a few Beam Eye Tracker users in chat, so if you have any questions and I can't answer it, they certainly will be able to. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Landing complete. Engines offline.
Any cargo? Oh, it's got some med gel, but I think that might be in the med bed. Let's go and take a look. Looking like it wasn't meant to be landed here. Not seeing much by way of damage, but it's been here a while. You can kind of see how the patina has started to come in. Anyone on board? That looks like it's damaged. Is it? No, maybe it's just aged. Do I even have a pistol? I don't. Hello? Anyone around? So, I'm assuming it's only got the 400. Oh no, it might have some extra med gel, which is good, because that is worth quite a bit. It's not in there. I've just got my Luminalia cup and an empty bottle of water. Only the essentials. Nothing in there. Maybe they've got it in the cargo bay. Is it in here somewhere? No. I am not seeing it. Oh, hang on. 200 and 200. I see. Okay. It's already installed inside. But we can get to scraping it. That's for sure. Which is this way. Quite a find. Nice, decent amount of salvage here. And the beam eye tracker is holding up beautifully. No weapons or anything to scavenge, which is a shame. I'm not going to check all the lockers. Can't imagine there's anything in there. Let's just turn shields off and whatnot. What are they doing in here? Looks like someone either may have been in here already, with these being open, or they just opened them themselves. They've taken the fuse out, so someone may have found this and scavenged a little bit already from it. Don't think it'll... Yeah, ports are unlocked already. Doesn't power on, so... She's good to salvage. Let's get to it. See my ship out there. Looking all hungry. Now there were Copian close by. As we were flying into this location, I can't remember what angle. I think it might have been from over there. There were Copian wandering around, so we do have to be somewhat careful. But that is a very nice find. But yeah, so far I am loving Beam. To say it's 30 quid, or $30 even, which is cheaper than £30. It is really impressive. And you don't need to pick up a dedicated device, right? You just... Let's switch out to the Abrade as well. If you've already got a webcam, you just crack on with that. No need for anything else.